Hi, this is Dan Ream, and this is our 5-minute whiz-bang guide to evaluating websites. This is my name, Dan Ream, my email address, dream@rappahannock.edu, and no, that's not really what I look like. If you know who that is, then good for you. That means you've been to the movies. But there is what I look like right there. Not quite as glamorous, but the email address is the same, and there is my name. And again, here are the phone numbers of our two libraries. Feel free to use my email address for further help if you need it. And let's get on to the topic of evaluating internet websites. This is an assignment SDV talks about, the SDV 100 class. So let me use one of the handouts we have for them. They use what's called the ABCD method for evaluating websites. A, who is the author? When you look at a website, it should identify who wrote it. If it doesn't, you've got a problem. Quite often it'll be, if it's a corporate website, it won't have a person's name, but it should give you the name of the organization who's published the information. If you can't tell who wrote a website, then it's probably questionable quality information. Second of all is bias. Bias is an interesting thing because people often hear the word and they think it automatically means bad. Well, bias does not necessarily mean bad. It simply means that there is a point of view that's preferred by the person publishing the information. For example, the National Rifle Association believes that gun ownership is extremely important and, for example, tend to disagree with gun control. That doesn't mean that necessarily the information they give is wrong. What they means is that they tend to want to support one side of an argument and perhaps not the other. Another example might be the National Geographic Society, which probably is very supportive of environmental concerns and so on. It doesn't mean they give wrong information, but they probably will focus on information that agrees with their point of view. So when you're looking at a website, ask yourself, is there one point of view here that's being emphasized over other points of view? Content, again, is it clear? Is it current? Is it accurate? Often websites will have dates near the bottom of the page that indicate when it was last updated. Is the spelling right? Again, if somebody doesn't even spell the words right on their page, it may be unfair, but frankly that's how you can often judge the intelligence of a source that you don't otherwise know. And again, it may be somebody whose English is not good, and maybe they are brilliant otherwise, but typically websites will be looked at by more than one person, and a group of people collectively should recognize errors like that and correct them. And last of all, design. Is it professionally, does it look like a professional site? Is it logically organized? Is it something you think you can trust for your research paper? Anyway, these are the ABCD method that's often recommended. There's another way of another acronym that's used. It's called CRAP, C-R-A-P, for evaluating a website. But again, it's the same basic ideas: author, bias, content, design. Look at these 4 factors on any website, and you will probably be able to decide is it trustworthy information or not. I'm going to switch over to the web browser here to show you an interesting example of this. There is I'm doing a quick Google search in the corner of my browser. The Bunny Man. I don't know if any of you know the Bunny Man or not, but the Bunny Man is the subject of a legend up in the Fairfax, Virginia area. This picture that you're seeing here is the so-called Bunny Man Bridge, and Wikipedia has an article on it, which is not too bad. But actually, let me take you to this website, The Bunny Man Unmasked. This is an excellent example of a good website that illustrates the reasons why I can tell it's good. First of all, who wrote this information? Right here in the center, by Brian Conley, historian archivist, Fairfax County Public Library. So I know exactly who did this information. As I read down through it, you'll see at the bottom of each page he cites the sources of the information that he's quoting up and above. And then one other factor, what's the address of this site? It's fairfaxcounty.gov. Now addresses can be tricky sometimes, but if you see that it's a government website, it's not likely to be inaccurate information. It certainly could possibly be, but it does tend to lean toward the accurate. So this is one example of how you can look at a website quickly to identify reliability signs, I guess you would say. Let me go back to my document here to show you 3 websites that are excellent for finding high-quality web sources. Google finds web sources based on their popularity, how many people link to them, and you can certainly find good things in Google, but you can also find bad things as well. The 3 tools that I'm showing you on screen now, InfoMine, the Internet Public Library, and KidsClick, are websites that only lists high-quality websites that they recommend. InfoMine is done by the University of California at Riverside. Internet Public Library is done by a consortium of library science graduate schools led by Drexel University in Philadelphia. And KidsClick is done by the Kent State University Library Science Program. Every website found in these 3 websites have been looked at by human beings, evaluated for quality, and found to be good. I use these, and here's why. My background, I was an English major in college, and I'm pretty good at assessing the quality of information having to do with language and literature. I am not an expert in physics. How do I know if a physics website is reliable or not? Well, to be honest with you, I could be fooled. Now, I do look at the signs of authorship and so on we just talked about, but better for me to go to InfoMine and instead, let's see if I can actually click on it here. Control click. And at InfoMine, I can type in a topic like physics, and every website that comes back to me in the list, that's, again, it's hard to see because of the size of the screen. There we go. These are highly recommended websites by people who are scholars in the world of science. And they will be able to, these are things I can trust without myself being a science expert. Anyway, I hope you found the session worthwhile. Feel free to contact me if you have follow-up questions. And if you're an SDV 100, good luck on your assignment working on evaluating, I think it's 2 or 3 websites. And again, feel free to contact me if you need more help.